Chances are you've seen some questionable techniques out there and thought, what on earth is happening here, right? Well, fear not, my beauties. I'm Flavio Miguel, and with over 28 years of experience in the game, yes, I know I'm that old, I'm here to demystify contouring highlight once and for all. In this video, I've got 4 kilo methods up my sleeve, ranging from beginners friendly to advanced bulletproof. Whether you are a makeup newbie or a seasoned pro, I've got something here for you. From powders to creams to contouring to the foundation, I've got you covered. And I'll be spilling some insider tips along the way, sharing with you the skill levels required for each technique and giving you a scoop of how long it would take to nail each look. But wait, there's more. If you wait until the end, I'll be sharing with you my very personal tip of how slaying contouring highlighting for bridal and glam makeup. Get ready to achieve the most flawless, bulletproof base you've ever seen. So grab your snacks, settle in, and let's embark in this beauty journey together. And hey, if you love what you see, remember to show us some love by liking and sharing this video, and also to subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me to reach out more beauty enthusiasts out there, so thank you so much. Before we dive in, let me address something very important. My goal with this video is not to knock the content of the creators that I'm showing you early in this video. They are makeup masters, and their content is mainly meant for entertainment. And while they nail their application, their technique and artistry might feel a little bit overwhelming for someone new to makeup. Now, if you feel confident following their techniques and you can achieve the same stellar results, then you're good to go. Because, let's be honest, we do our makeup how the hell we want to, right? However, if you seek clarity and a step-by-step tutorial, stick until the end of this video and I promise you will not regret it. Alright, let's break down how to contour and highlight using powder products. This is probably the easiest and most approachable technique of all the ones that I'll be discussing in this video. But it's something that we don't see very often on social media nowadays. But it's actually a technique that all makeup artists all over the world swear by it. I don't think we see it very often on social media anymore because it's simply not as fancy and entertaining as contouring with cream products can be. Alright, first things first. Grab yourself an angle brush for a precise application. If you don't have one, a blush brush would do the work. But personally, an angle brush does the trick better. Another critical tip is to choose contouring shades with an ashy undertone to create those natural looking shadows on the face. Now, assuming you've already sorted out your foundation and setting powder, let's dive in. Hold your brush at a slight angle around 45 degrees downwards. This helps create that soft transition, naturally sculpting those cheekbones. Start below the cheekbone, near the ears, and sweep towards the corners of your mouth, maintaining a 2 fingers distance from the mouth corners and nose. Now, pressing the brush firmly into the skin, roll the head of the brush upwards. Let the bristles of the brush do the work for you. Notice those round movements. They will help to create a smooth transition from dark to light. Then, blend along the hairline towards the roots for that seamless finish. Lastly, tackle the jawline, starting near the ears and gently blending towards the chin. You can see the magic happening already. Time for the highlighter. Opt for a powder formula and grab a small tapered brush for precision. I prefer a highlighter with a sheer tone, nothing too metallic or shimmery. Apply it on the highest points of your cheeks, blending towards the nose bridge and upwards towards the temples. Remember to dab a bit on the cheekbone contour for extra pop, as well as next to the mouth corner and nose wings. A tiny bit on the chin. Also, add a touch between the eyebrows, on the bridge of your nose, and the tip of your nose for that extra glow. Use a powder brush to blend everything together seamlessly. To tie it all together, add some blush. This acts as the perfect transition between your contouring and highlighting, bringing everything together beautifully. Now, here are the pros and cons of that technique. Pros. It is an easy technique that suits all levels of makeup artistry. You can gradually see the progression of your work. This technique is perfect for a laid-back casual look. It doesn't consume much of your time, you're done in 5 minutes. Ideal for those busy days when you need to look fab in a flash. Cons. Powder products tend to set on the foundation, making it challenging to correct them if you misplace them. Let's talk about now contouring highlighting using cream products on top of your foundation. First off, I've only applied foundation here, keeping it light and sheer because I know we are going to layer on some creamy and liquid goodies later. That's gonna amp it up the coverage gradually. Now, for tools, I am all about this stippling brush with a short, rounded head with a flat surface. It's perfect to get into all those nooks and hooks of your face. I'm using a cream contour palette with a cooler, ashy undertone, starting below the cheekbones near the ears. I blend it towards the mouth corners, then work those round motions up to the highest points of the cheeks. Rotating the brush backwards will give you more control over the application. The shading should be at its most intense near the ears. Next up, it's the hairline and jawline, aiming for that seamless transition from shadows to light. The jaw contouring should be at its most intense near the ears and gradually grow softer the closer you get to the chin. And that's how it should look like when you finish both sides of the face. You can even try this technique for nose contouring if you're feeling fancy. I use the same contour palette, but this time I tried using a triangle-shaped brush, and it was exactly what I expected. Super easy to do it. And remember, you want to contour your nose higher, closer to the top of the bridge, rather than close to the base of your nose. One thing I love about this method is how it lets me see my progress as I go. Plus, it is super easy to tweak it if needed. After the contouring is blush time. Opting for a cream blush adds extra coverage and blends beautifully with everything else. I apply it with my fingers, using the warmth to melt it seamlessly into the foundation and contouring. Start at the top of the cheeks and blend upwards towards the temples, using one finger to apply and another to blend. If you need more color, just tap on a bit more blush on the area. Now, let your fingertips do the rest of your work for you. Tap, 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 tap to perfection. Now, let's add some highlights with a liquid concealer that is one shade lighter than your foundation. I love this brush triangle shape for precise application. It's like sculpting your face. Go from the lower inner corner of your eyes towards the temples, near the nose wings and mouth corners. After applying the concealer, I use whatever is left on my finger from that blush to blend the transition between blush and highlight. Once everything looks just right, set it in place with a setting powder. This time, opt for a powder that isn't too translucent, like a mineral-based powder, for example. You will notice all the layers merging onto each other. To extend the wear hours, finish with a spritz of your favorite setting spray. Now the pros and cons of that technique. Pros. This technique works for everyday looks or more glam vibes. It's perfect for those with average skill levels. You can overview the entire process throughout the application. It takes around 10 to 15 minutes to complete it. It's easy to make corrections until you set it with a setting powder. Cons. Finding a product with the right consistency can be challenging. Some of them are too firm, making it tough to blend, or they might be too sheer, making it challenging to build intensity. Once you set it with a powder, it becomes complicated to make any corrections. It needs to be perfect before you set it. Let's now chat about contouring highlighting, but with a twist. Some people call it underpainting, but as I like to call it, contouring and highlighting into the foundation. Now, this technique isn't for the faint of heart. You must trust the process and know your stuff. Otherwise, it could become a hot mess. You might go overboard with the contouring, make your base look muddy, or you could slap a too high coverage foundation covering all of your hard work. Plus, it is time consuming, so buckle up. Start with the proper prepped skin. I like to go with moisturizer and lip oil. I rarely use any primer for the base. The contour palette that I used for the previous demonstration had a firm texture. For this time, let's switch it up and use something more liquid, like a liquid concealer. Pick a darker shade with a cool undertone. Dab a few dots below the cheekbones, near the ears, and blend downwards towards the mouth corner. Now here's the trick part, blending. It might seem like a little product, but watch what happens when you start blending. But stay calm and trust the process. I started with a triangle-shaped brush, but I will blend with a round foundation brush for that smooth transition from dark to light. See that hook downwards? This is how you create that buccal fat removal effect. And because you are working basically on bare skin, you can easily correct anything using a cotton disc, cleaning up all the areas that you don't want to see the contouring product. Repeat along the hairline and make sure that you are blending it well towards the hair growth. Use the foundation brush for a smooth transition. Now go on the jawline, dot it up, and blend it all smoothly from the chin up towards the ears. Eventually change brushes for a smooth transition. Next up, foundation time! Choose a shade that matches your skin tone perfectly and apply it with a beauty sponge. This helps blend the foundation and contour seamlessly and builds coverage. Pay attention because it's a critical moment. If you slap a too high coverage foundation, you might end up covering all of your hard work, and you don't want that. In case you have a full coverage foundation at home, you might consider mixing a little bit of moisturizer in order to make the foundation slightly more transparent. You might wonder why I didn't apply a lighter concealer to highlight before the foundation. Well, the foundation tends to oxidize, especially around the eyes. So adding concealer last lets you correct any oxidation and create a highlighting effect. Go on the inner corners of the eyes, next to the nose wings, outer corner of the eyes, up to the temples, mouth corners, under the cheekbones, onto the chin and between the eyebrows, and on the highest points of the eyebrows. Using the triangle-shaped brush, start blending the product on the right directions, from the jawline next to the mouth corners and nose wings, up to the inner corners of the eyes, from here on to the outer corners of the eyes, pulling it upwards towards the temples. Blend the dot on the chin and now between the brows and above its highest point. This technique will snatch the face beautifully. Once the foundation is applied, add some cream highlighter and blush. They will complement each other and build coverage without looking cakey. I like to add a bit of the highlighter on the bridge and tip of the nose, as well as on the cupid bow. For the blush, repeat the same process we're using during the previous demonstration, using your fingers to blend seamlessly into the base. Only this time, I dip a bit of the blush over the nose bridge for a fresh and youthful appearance. The only thing left to do is to finish it up with setting powder to lock everything in place. Whew, that was a journey, but the result is worth it. Now, here are the pros and cons of that technique. Pros. This is a technique that works well for evening looks as it's still visible in low light environments. It is suitable for bridals and glamour makeup. It is great when you're aiming for high coverage base. Cons. It's very time consuming. It could take 15 to 20 minutes to complete it. It requires some level of makeup artistry. You might end up covering all of your hard work using a too high coverage foundation. It's easy to overdo it, so finesse is a must. Now the time you've been waiting for. Let me share with you my go-to method for creating glamorous and editorial looks. After following all the steps I've just demonstrated, I like to set everything with a setting powder and then repeat the process all over again. But this time, we will be using similar products in powder form. Yes, you heard it right. Grab your contouring and highlighting products as well as your blush and highlighter, but this time in powder form. Use your powder brush again to blend all of those powders together and finishing it off with your favorite setting spray. Not only does this amp it up the contouring highlight, but it also ensures a long-lasting, bulletproof makeup look, perfect for bridal, glamour, and editorial. Now here are the pros and cons of that technique. Pros. If you ended up covering your hard work, you can easily enhance the contouring highlight again without having to start all over. It is great for brides, glamour, celebrities, red carpets, you name it. It looks good in different lighting conditions, day or light, on and off camera. Cons. It is time consuming. It could take 20 to 25 minutes to complete. It requires high levels of makeup artistry. It can be challenging on wrinkled and textured skin. It is not suitable if you're aiming for sheer coverage. If not well executed, it might look heavy and overly done. Now that you've seen all of these different techniques for contouring highlight, which one speaks to you the most? I may not have shown to you anything groundbreaking, but I hope this cleared up any questions around what's the best way to contour and highlight your face. And if it's not the case, please don't hesitate to ask me anything in the comment section below. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoy making it. And if that's the case, please show us some love with a thumbs up and share this video with your makeup loving friends, at least the ones that need it. Oh girl, you know who I'm talking about. And if you feel extra generous, please remember to subscribe to my channel. This is a way to support the channel and help us pump out more content like this. And again, thank you so much for your time, love, and support. And I catch you in a following video, alright? Bye bye!